I live for impact and I'll leave an impact.
Hello, Zaynab.
Hi,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Alright, so can you introduce yourself?
Now that's me thinking which of my personalities I want to introduce. The professional one or the one that is not so professional, or the other one that nobody really knows about. Which one do you want?
Well, the one you want to be out there.
Okay. My name is Zaynab. I am a freelance writer, a henna artist, a baker. Honestly, I'm everything. Everything, everywhere, all at once. I am a Muslim, obviously. I am Alago by tribe. Not many people know it, so I think that should be assignments. Go and look it up. Alago. It's spelled Alago. It's from Nasarawa State. What else do I want people to know about? I am a painter. Honestly, I don't even know what to say.
Oh yes, that's quite enough. That's quite enough. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Abuja. I was born and brought up here.
Okay, but did you spend some time outside Abuja at any time?
According to my mother, I did spend 1 year in Lagos, but I don't remember anything from that part of my life. I was a very tiny baby, so I don't remember.
Okay, so you schooled here in Abuja?
I did school here, primary up to secondary. I did my university at ABU, that's Zaria. Otherwise, I've spent my entire life here.
Okay, so how has it been like for you here in Abuja?
Honestly, it's been pretty chilled. I don't have any complaints.
Okay.
Yeah, except for the growing traffic. Please, all you Lagos people, go back to your states. We're tired.
Alright, tell me about your family. Are you the first? Are you the last?
I am, in fact, the firstborn and the only girl. I have 3 brothers.
Okay, so how about your parents?
I live with my mom. My parents are separated. My dad actually lives here in Abuja too, but I can't remember the last time I saw him, so.
Okay, so how are you doing, Jamal?
In general,
Yes, in general.
I'm just floating, trying hard not to sink, so I guess that's enough.
So, what were your memories about your parents growing up?
Memories about my parents. About my parents, I don't have any memories about my parents. Maybe I do have memories with each of them separately, but not like as a family together, no.
Okay, is there any indication to that, to the best of your knowledge?
Indication?
Yeah, to not having those memories, you know?
No, we just never had them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you feel like that actually has an impact, in your life?
Yes, to some extent actually, because I never let it define who I am or let it be a yardstick for how I live my life or how I view relationships. I've just never let it bother me, actually.
Okay, so what's your best, what's the closest of a parental relationship that you've had?
I have several memories. Like I said, I have several memories from both parents, like individually, but not together. So maybe I should say from each of them. Like my dad, he usually dropped me off every first day at school. Like whenever I was starting a new class or a new school, he was always the one dropping me off. So I think that's like the closest. Oh yeah, and then he was always giving us money every Friday. And we were buying lots of goodies with it, and he would never question what we did with the money. It was just, and we're just happy to be there at that moment. And then with my mom has always been that parent that had always been around, always stuck around for us, and she had been the one sacrificing everything basically. So most of my memories are with her.
Okay, so what do you think you miss the most about your dad?
What I miss the most? I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. Maybe the way he calls my name. Yeah. And then sometimes when I say certain prayers, it just reminds me of him because I know that I learned them from him. So.
Okay, so do you miss your parents together?
I never liked them together. So I can't miss them apart. Yeah.
Okay, would you want to throw more light on that?
Okay. I don't think this is something I've ever told anybody, but I was actually the one that told my mom to get the divorce because I think I've always been that person that everybody says is too wise for her age, or you're too smart for your age. I've always gotten that. So I always saw beyond their veil. Maybe my younger ones may not have seen it, but I always did see it. There was always this darkness in the house that I just knew, even as a child then, I just knew that this is not how families are supposed to be. So, and I just did not like seeing my mom unhappy. Honestly, they were living like tenants. And I told my mom, even some tenants live better than you people. So I don't think there's any reason for you to be here any longer. Just go.
So how old were you then?
I was 16, but I think I told her way before then. I told her, I think I was like 14 when I approached her and told her. So it took so many years for her to finally make up her mind and say, yes, I actually do want to leave. So.
Right, so how has that actually influenced your relationships?
I am someone that does not take bullshit. Excuse my language. So I don't know. I just feel like whenever someone messes up, I can just go. I can just leave. Because if my mom could do it, why can't I do it? And I'm not even married. So, and I know that marriage is a much longer commitment than relationships. So if I'm tolerating so much bullshit now, what happens when we eventually get married? So I'm just like, just go. The smallest ick can just let me just lose my feelings for you and just. So I think that's actually affected the way I view relationships. I think it has made me realize that it's very easy for you to decide to not want somebody anymore and just decide to go.
Right, well, has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it has.
Okay, did you feel indifferent? What was the feeling like?
It's not as easy as as I'm saying it, because even when I told myself that this relationship is no longer serving me and I had to leave, it was not, the way I was saying it to myself wasn't actually the reality of it, or it took me a really long time to actually finally just go. So.
Is it right? So, aside from relationship here, are there other aspects of your life that you think, has been affected with this?
Yes. Well, not by their divorce per se, but the kind of person my father is and the kind of life he's led has actually, I think I would say, has affected me in some parts of my life.
Okay. So what kind of man do you think you would want for yourself?
I think I want someone who is understanding, somebody who tries to know who you are. I know that human beings are complex and you just can't wake up one day and just find the perfect person. You have to like build it. Both of you have to build and work towards it. So I want someone who never gets tired of that learning process, the process of learning one another. So, yeah.
Okay, so where are you right now, in this journey?
Where I am in life. Floating. I'm basically just floating. I'm trying to get a hang of it. Sometimes I try not to stress myself too much because I'm like, look, you're still young. You still have a life ahead of you. Don't stop stressing. And then other times I'm panicking. I'm like, there are several people who are not even up to your age that are doing way better than you. So you have to get your ass up and do things. So I'm just there floating, trying not to sink.
Alright, so what has been your ambition before now and right now, or has your ambition changed?
My ambition, I've always wanted, is this an ambition or a career path? Okay, I think this is more of like a career path. I wanted to be a doctor. Honestly, I'm glad I did not even get that course because I'm a very unserious person. But right now, I want to be I want to be many things. Honestly, I don't want to be one thing because being one thing is boring to me. I'm not a routine person, so I don't do too well with routines. I just want to be spontaneous. I want to be a published writer. I want to have my own beauty spa. I want to have my own restaurant. I want to travel the world. But basically, I just want to be happy.
Alright. So you mentioned being a writer.
Yes.
Yeah, so have you started works in writing? Have you written anything?
Yes, I have a book in my laptop that is in my draft. It's a poetry collection, actually, nothing serious. I started writing it in December and it's actually complete. It's done now. So I'm just actually looking for money to publish it. And not actually the money aspect of it, confidence. I think that's something I also lack, confidence.
Okay, why? Why do you think you lack confidence?
It has more to do with childhood traumas.
Okay.
Yes, because at one point in my life, I used to be bullied. This is something I've never told anybody. My mom doesn't know about it. So it's affected my confidence level a lot, like a whole lot. I struggled so much. I'm actually doing better now. This is me sitting in front of the camera, talking in front of the camera now. I've come a long way, actually. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't like posting my pictures online. Because I always feel like whenever I post, I don't even let it stay up to like 2 minutes. I'm deleting it again because of low self-esteem.
Okay, so talking about the bullying, yeah. What were you bullied? Who was bullying? What was the experience like?
It was basically some of my peers, and then some kids at the older classes. I was really tiny. Like I was so tiny when I was growing up. I'm still tiny, but yeah, I think that was the reason that was one of the reasons they bullied me, because of my size, and I wasn't someone who talked a lot, so I couldn't really fight back. I just let them say mean things to me, and it was actually even this particular girl that was always taking my food, but I could not report her.
Can you still recognize her?
Oh, guess what? We're friends, but I've never confronted her about it. I actually did plan on confronting her a while back, but I don't do too well with confrontation, so I do not know how to actually approach her and tell her, like, look, this is you. I don't know if you remember, but you actually used to bully me a lot. You used to take my food. You used to do so many mean things to me. Maybe one of these days I'll still have the courage to meet her and tell her about it. Maybe that will be like the first step into breaking out of this whole circle. I don't know.
Okay, so what has kept you for this long? You know, tolerating, enduring, and
I do not know if it is I don't know if it's a firstborn thing. I don't know if it is hereditary, because my mother too is also someone who she tolerates, she has this very high tolerance level. I don't know if it's something it's genetics, I don't know. I also don't know if it's the fact that I am very much of a people pleaser. I do so much to please people that I often forget that there's me and I have to please me too.
Okay, so where is your confidence level at right now?
My confidence level.
Yeah.
Out of a 10, I'll say it's a 7.
Okay, have you done anything to work on that? Seek help, any of those?
Yes, I have. I have tried to come out of my comfort zone more often. I used to do spoken word poetry a while back, so having to stand in front of a really large crowd actually helps boost your confidence. So that's actually helped me. And then associating myself with people who see me for me and are not judgy. Yeah.
All right, so what else do you think your confidence has really affected about you?
What else has my confidence affected about me? The way I present myself in public. I'm always the girl in the corner. Always. In whatever social function I find myself. I'm always the reserved, quiet, mysterious girl, just taking in everything and never saying much. Even sometimes opportunities pass me because I don't know how to actually put myself out there and like, oh, look, I'm actually good at this, I'm actually good at that. And even when people notice that I'm good at these things and they approach me, I'm like, oh, you're this and you're this, and I see your work and your work is very good. I try to downplay my efforts, like kind of like an imposter syndrome. I'm like, oh, it's nothing. It's yeah. So
if you're gonna change anything about you, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think you're gonna change about you?
How about me? Definitely my confidence and how much I tolerate people, because people tend to take advantage of that.
So do you love yourself?
I have a love-hate relationship with myself.
Can you tell me about that?
Sometimes I love myself and sometimes I just wish I was someone else.
So when do you love yourself, and at what times do you wish you were someone else?
I think I love myself more when, I don't know. I think it's just a feeling that comes with moods. So it's just, I never know what triggers it. It just comes and it goes. So I can't really say.
Okay. So what's your relationship with God?
Oh, I have a really strong relationship with God.
Okay, can you just...
Yeah, many people think I'm not so religious, but I am a very, very religious person. Very religious person.
Okay, so um, is there something about your childhood that you still hold on to?
Something about my childhood I still hold on to. Not that I can remember at the moment.
Okay, so how did you pick up writing?
Okay, so then, okay, I used to, actually, my mom helped with that, some parts, because she used to buy us storybooks always. Whenever she was coming back from work, she was always coming home with a new book. So I used to love reading so much as a child. I think I read nothing less than 150 books from age 8 to age 15. Yeah, I used to read a lot. We had this laundry basket and it was just filled with books. And I used to love the stories I read, and I was like, oh, actually, I want to be one of these people who wrote. So then I used to write. I used to write all these children, baby stuff, and my classmates would read it. And then when I started getting bullied, I used to write in my diary, and it was prose. I started writing prose. That was like when I was 13. When I was 12, 13 years old, I used to write prose, and then from prose it's developed into poetry, and then from poetry I ventured into creative writing and all other forms of writing.
Okay, so if you're going to change anything about your childhood, what do you think you're going to change?
The way my family is, yeah.
So what exactly are you going to change about your family?
The togetherness.
Okay. Has this in any way given you a perception of how you would want your family to be?
Yes, actually it has.
Okay, so.
And that will start with choosing a partner that is right for me.
So what do you think you have to do, or what do you think you have to be to choose the right partner for yourself?
Honestly, I don't think I have to do anything, because whether you do or you don't do, it's all down to destiny. Like I said, I'm a religious person, and as a Muslim, whatever happens to you has already been written down for you. So you just have to pray your way through it all and hope that God gives you the best. So I'm actually hoping I do my part and hope that God gives me the best.
Okay, what's your definition of love?
I don't have a definition of love because I have never been in love.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay. So, when you see love, would you recognize love?
Honestly, I don't know if I would recognize love when I see it, because sometimes the butterflies in your tummy might just be anxiety. So, I don't know.
Alright. Would you want to be in love?
After seeing what love does to people, I don't know. I really don't know. Love is madness. But it's a beautiful feeling, nonetheless. I actually do write about love sometimes.
Okay. Would you want to share anything you've written?
About love?
Yeah.
I'll have to get my phone
Okay.
to do that.
Maybe we'll put that in somewhere.
Okay, it's fine.
Alright. So what do you think you have to say to people that have been through that kind of brokenness of being bullied and having instability in their families?
honestly, I just hope the universe is kinder to you, and whatever thing you're going through that you do not know how to talk about it, I just want you to know that you are not alone, even in times you feel like you are alone. Because there are many times when I felt like, oh God, why me? Why do I have to go through this? There are people who, I just look at people with beautiful families and like, oh, I wish my parents were like that. I wish they could be like that. I wish we could go on family vacations and all of that. And then when I started talking more, I realized that I wasn't so alone. I realized that there are actually people who are like me, and that it was a beautiful feeling finding them. So I just want you to know that you're definitely not alone. Just take a deep breath.
Right. So, what's the lowest you think you have been, in all of this?
The lowest I have been. I honestly cannot remember because I don't even have that luxury, honestly. I have younger ones that are looking up to me. So I have never been afforded the luxury of having to be so low, because if I am low, who is going to be high for them? So I just have to do all I have to do to be the very best big sister for them. So
how's it been so far?
it's been good. It's been good, even though I know that my brother, the one directly after me, it has actually affected him more than it has affected me, and there's actually nothing much I can do for him because I have tried my best. But I just hope it gets better.
It's alright. Well, I hope it gets better too. Thank you very much, Zaynab.
Thank you, Elvis.
There's something else you want to say?
No, except that I loved this so much. Now I won't have to pay for therapy anymore. So thank you.
Thank you very much for honoring the invitation.
Yeah, thank you too.